What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 14th day of July, and here we are, up 2%, having the exact opposite of a dump for a Monday. Um, a little bit of a pump, nothing too. I mean, 2% up. That's nice for Bitcoin, right? That's not too bad at all. I mean, that might constitute as a pump actually, right? How much are we? We're up $2,300. Yeah, and we were up even more than that at one point. The high is at 123.2k. Beautiful to see. Beautiful to see. Not a whole lot of volume coming in, but that's okay. We still got 9 hours 34 minutes left in the day here. This daily RSI, you guys, it's providing stronger readings than we had over here. And typically, and we've gone over this before, it doesn't mean that this has to happen, but typically when you get above this area here, you don't stop until you at least get to like 88 or above on the RSI, right? Like these are the areas that you stop at. And maybe you stop below after you've seen this peak, right? But typically, you don't really stop below this line if you break above this 80 level in the RSI here. I mean, we go back in time, right? You stopped kind of right here, whatever, but you went all the way up here. That, again, that's not a typical area to stop. This, I guess, was typical here, but inevitably you went here. All those iterations right there. It's not a perfect science. All I'm trying to say here is, and we could stop right here. We could stop a little bit higher. There's no rule that says we have to go up here, but you gotta wonder, right? You gotta wonder if consolidating all this time here after a magnificent move like this, and we're already starting off this move a little bit more robustly than we had this move, I kind of would assume that we do see a stronger reading overall, and if we do, this is the next area that I would consider. So with that in mind, I think we go higher. I think we go higher. I don't think it stops here. I think we go higher. Is that such a hard thought to conceive? I don't know. I don't know how hard it is. You tell me. 9 hours 33 minutes left in the day. We're looking at Bitcoin here on the Bitcoin exchange liquidation map. And as far as shorts go, we do have about $1.8 billion in shorts to liquidate if we move up to about 125K. We have about $1.3 billion worth of longs to liquidate if we move down to about 120.2K. So we don't have to move down as much to liquidate around the same amount of short we don't have to move down as much to liquidate as many longs as we would have to liquidate shorts. In fact, I think we'd even have to move up a little bit more than we would have to move down for those similar levels of liquidation. So it's very possible that we do move down a little bit. Maybe we move down to that 120K area just to clear out some over leveraged positions to the upside. It's very possible, but let's look at the 1 hour time frame and see, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're looking at this, you're like, oh, we're really close. That means we're definitely going down. We're going to clear these out before we move up. You haven't been watching this thing too much because, man, there's been time and time again to the short side and to the long side where the price is right up against these liquidation points and then it just goes the other direction. So for whatever reason, right, call this manipulation, call it luck, whatever you want to call it. For whatever reason, we just don't seem to liquidate the longs the same way that we're liquidating the shorts. And even sometimes when we're right up against the shorts, we'll come all the way back down to the levels that liquidate some longs too. So it's not an exact science. If you're using this to determine where the price is going to go, you're going to get it wrong like half the time, if not more, genuinely. So let's just carry on. Let's stop talking, okay? 1 hour. Let's do the 15-minute time frame. I find that the 15-minute, especially whenever we're in exciting times, it's a little bit more reliable. Okay, so here we are, moving down. Let's see, Dogecoin's moving down a little bit too. Ethereum's moving up a little bit. Bitcoin here on a 15-minute time frame, kind of down here at this area of support that we've been finding support at. We could go to the oversold zone, but just barely. I would think that it's. I mean, if we look at this, guys, since July 7th, which is well before this most recent pump kind of started to happen. July 7th going all the way back here, back before we broke out to new all-time highs. We don't really get too far below the oversold zone. So I would think that as far as this drop goes, we don't have too much lower to go. But it wouldn't surprise me if we had a little bit lower in the sense of like clearing out these longs again, right? Let's see, are any shorts piling on? Longs are piling on, shorts are piling on. Looking at this here on the 15-minute time frame, I wouldn't be surprised if we went a little bit lower, but nothing too crazy. I doubt that we go back down to 116K, 120K. My reasoning for that is I think a lot of people want to buy Bitcoin and they've missed the boat and they are shooting themselves in the foot for that, right? And there's people shorting trying to make up for that loss of opportunity. So if we go down here, that's just going to give it back to them. And no offense, but Bitcoin's not that kind. It really is not that kind. And I think there are actually more shorts than there are longs right now. If we, let's see here, hold on, let's go to short, long, is it long to short ratio? Long to short ratio, let's see. Right, if we have a less than 1, then that means there's more shorts than longs, right? Where are we? Longs versus shorts. Well, that's not, yeah, let's 4 hour. Can we get something more than just 24 hours? Well, I guess we can only get 24 hours. That's okay. Okay, so there are a little bit more longs than shorts, but again, we've had that, you know, periodically here and there, and we still move up even with or without having more shorts than longs. But right now, a little bit more longs than shorts. It might make sense to move down a little bit, and that's okay. Just a little bit though, probably just enough to convince the bulls who are over leveraged to close their longs, just enough to convince the bears who are not yet leveraged or under leveraged to over leverage themselves and put themselves in a vulnerable position where if we move up, we will close out all those leveraged positions. 15-minute time frame here, I would say it looks bearish, but any minute now, I mean, you could bounce right here, you could go a little bit lower, it's not a big deal. And if we were to go a little bit lower, I don't know, how would we go about measuring this? Let's see. Would we go from a low to a high here, maybe? Yeah, 382 to the 236, sure. So 120, 120.7, maybe 120 itself at the lowest. I doubt that you go any lower than 120 though, at this point in time at least. It could happen, you know. I am kind of anticipating that we get a shakeout at any day now. It could be today and we go all the way down to about 116K, 118K. That really could happen, and it would happen so fast, you guys. It would just happen so fast. Clear out a bunch of different leverage positions here. If we go back to the liquidation map here, I mean, you would be clearing out billions of dollars. Let's say we move down to 116K today. Let's say that happened. All right, 30-day time frame here. 116K, that would clear out about $4 billion in longs, right? That's 116K from here. That's about $5,000. If we move $5,000 in the other direction, it's about 126.8. We're getting 1.3. You know what I mean? Like it's not even close where the leverage liquidations would be at, right? If we're looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, here, we did get out of the overbought zone. We got into the overbought zone, out of the overbought zone, and we are right now at an area that we've also been finding support at really since this move began. So we could go lower. Absolutely, we could go lower. We could go all the way down to the 40. That's where we found support before. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go lower in price, right? Like here we had our low. When you got lower in the RSI, you actually didn't go lower in the price. You just had a kind of stagnant behavior, and then you continued to move up. Here we're moving down like we mean business. Here we're moving down like we mean business. Does that mean that we have to move up right now? No, but I mean maybe we kind of chill like we did last time. Maybe we chill and go to the downside a little bit more, but I don't think that we have to pull back and find support at prior resistance. We can, and if we do, it's very, very common. But again, I think too many people are anticipating that right now, and Bitcoin's never that easy. But it might be right now. It does seem that there's a lot of people who are long right now on BTC, so that could have an effect on the price dropping. 1 hour RSI, we have lower lows in the RSI. We have higher lows in the price. That is hidden bullish divergence. If we're in a kind of trend, which I don't know if we are, but if we're in a trend, it looks like we're at the base of this kind of like lower high, lower low. So I would at least expect a little bounce from here. But does that bear anything that takes us higher? Do we see new all-time highs? I don't know. Maybe. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame here. Looking at the 4 hour, we do have this bearish divergence look, but I don't know if I'd call it bearish divergence, you guys. I don't know if I mean, like, yes, it's a double top. Yes, it is. But you're super bullish on this 4 hour RSI, you guys. You hear it, you got in and you got out in the same 4 hour, or like the very next 4 hour candle. Normally this kind of behavior, if you get in and you get out like this, you would go to the 50, right? You get in, you get out, you go below the 50. That's what that does. But here you're actually very resilient. You did something against the norm. Here it looks like bearish divergence. It's a double top for sure. But you've got a high that's higher than these highs, higher than this high here, higher than this high here even, right? What about all those highs? If you're going to call this one a lower high to this high, well, that's true. But you've got higher highs here. If it's like, is it bearish divergence? I don't know. And if it is, I was going to say, why aren't we dropping more? But I guess we're dropping pretty good right now, pretty well. I don't know. If it is bearish divergence, not saying that it can't be construed as such. If it is bearish divergence, we would likely come all the way down to about 118.3K, and that's fine if we do. If we go all the way down there, that's fine. Maybe even wick a little bit lower than that. We could get set up. Wouldn't it be funny if we kind of had like a look like this, and then we went down, form a head and shoulders pattern over the coming days, and then we break out to the upside, give the bears something to chew on, and they think that they're going to get a move down. maybe we do get that shakeout inevitably. But I'm still under the position that I don't believe, under the belief, I'm taking the position that we don't, likely we don't go below 116K. At the lowest, maybe even from here, maybe like 117K. But I don't think that we go too much lower. We might get a quick shakeout or something, but that'd be the extent of that. Sorry, I don't know why I can't talk. I got little sleep last night. That's probably why. But we are at an area to bounce. We've bounced the last couple of times right here. We found resistance in this area at the overbought zone, so it's very possible that we could bounce here. 1 hour time frames at an area to bounce to. We have hidden bullish divergence there. We're moving down without volume. We were moving up with volume. I mean, take it or leave it. We could be moving up more. Every time I get momentarily bearish on Bitcoin, it just keeps moving up. So we're just gonna maintain the bullish posturing, because regardless of what happens, even if we do go down, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be so quick. Whenever we move up, and we will continue moving up, we're likely going to see targets that are up at about like 100 and, I would think around 140 to 150 by the end of the month of July, going into 170 to 190, probably around 180K by the end of August, something like that. And then of course, the daily time frame, again, going back to this, I think that we're going to see stronger readings in the RSI. And typically when you get these stronger readings, that just means that you're anything but done, right? Whenever you got these stronger readings last time, here you topped off on the RSI, but you kept growing from there, from November 11th to December 17th. So for over a month, you continue to grow. Most of the growth happened here in this initial phase. We're probably having a heavy period of growth right now in this initial phase, but we'll start to consolidate and slowly move up. If not continue this pace, I don't know, man. It feels like there's a lot of people who are irrationally bearish right now. There's also a lot of people who are kind of euphoric and bullish, but we're at new all-time highs, so that's a given. Don't get it in your mind, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but don't get it in your mind that just because a lot of people are bullish right now, that means we have to go down, right? We're at new all-time highs. We have the right to be overly bullish. Well, maybe not overly bullish, but bullish, right? It's moments like this where everybody can kind of look at each other and be like, are we going up right now? We're going up right now. And we still do go up, right? Where normally that's not the case. Normally if everybody's bullish or everybody's bearish, that tells you that you're probably going to go the opposite direction. But in moments like this, we can kind of have some consensus, because I mean, we're all in the green right now. If you're holding crypto, you're in the green. You got to be, at least, right? 3-day time frame here, looking bullish. We do have some bearish divergence look right here. And this is something else. Bitcoin's been very tricky lately. I feel like this is a trap. Like this 4 hour, a lot of people use the 4 hour time frame. I feel like something like this, it's a trap. It looks like bearish divergence. People think that we're going to top off and we're moving down a little bit already, right? That might convince people that this is the top and that we're moving lower. But I would assume that what we get here is probably a lower low in the RSI, bounce off the 60, so that might imply a little bit lower in the price here. Bounce off the 60, we get a lower low in the RSI, but a higher low in the price. Hidden bullish divergence, bounce off the 60, get back into the overbought zone. Continue to rip and run. We'll pile on the shorts, and that'll just be more fuel to the fire. Let's see if those shorts have piled on. I mean, there's more shorts now, yeah. Yeah, there are. Wow, now we have 2 billion instead of, remember it was like 126 126K it was like 126.9K. Didn't even have 1.5 billion. Now it's 2.26. It's, yeah, so that's a lot, man. That's a lot. Or maybe it's because it's the 30-day. Never mind. I think the 30-day time frame, for some reason it doesn't sync up. You see what I mean? Like it says that there's less liquidity there now. I don't know. I don't know how reliable this data is on CoinGlass. I know it's somewhat reliable. I just don't know how up to date it is, generally speaking. But anyways, I don't know if I have anything else that I want to say, you guys. Bitcoin's on its way up. I mean, really, we're just thinking about prices that are at $180,000 or thereabouts by the end of August. And until then, that's the stance we're taking. So I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.